Hi everybody, it's Joyce Loc here from Black Hair Compass, and I'm coming to you guys with my 12-month lock update. So as you guys can see from the short video clips, my hair has come a long way. And as much as I was super gung-ho about starting my locks in the very beginning, I still feel that way even now, even an entire year later. It definitely was the best choice that I made for myself, and I'm really loving my hair. I don't think that I've ever I don't know, I just feel like locks are the perfect balance because my hair is so low maintenance, but I also know at the same time that my hair is probably at the healthiest point that it could possibly be. And I'm comparing that to, from the times that I had a relaxer to the times I had loose natural hair. And, while my hair was in a relaxer, it was really easy to manage, but it was really unhealthy because, the chemicals really do a number on your hair. And then at the same time I went to natural hair, which my hair was super healthy, a little bit more high maintenance, and I feel like locks is giving me the in-between that I've been looking for now that I've had the opportunity and really the pleasure to experience both relaxed hair and natural hair. Locks give me the in-between where it's really easy to manage, but my hair is also extremely healthy. And because of that, I'm so happy to have my locks because I don't know, I just feel like it's easy on me, and it's also one of the best things that I could do for the health of my hair. So I'm totally in love with my hair, and I'm so happy that I made this decision. Even a year later, I still feel that way. So I actually just did a retwist on my hair yesterday, and again, I've said in some of my previous videos that I use my retwisting session as an opportunity to kind of take an inventory on my locks to see kind of like how they're doing, because like I said before, my hair is so low maintenance that I'm not really putting my hands in my hair and manipulating my hair that much. So it's easy for, if your hair is doing great, you might not notice it because you're not really dealing with it, and at the same time, if you're having problems, you might not notice them either because it's very low maintenance. So I use my retwisting time as an opportunity to see kind of like how my hair is doing, and to my surprise, I was so happy to see that, as I suspected, I think around like month 9 or 10, around one of those months, I was starting to feel like my hair was really starting to grow with the locks. With the loose hair around my roots was starting to grow in the locks instead of grow away from the locks. And I can see that's totally true, especially right here in this like top area. I almost didn't even need to do a retwist because there was no tangling whatsoever. None of the hairs were in the wrong lock. They were all with the right lock, and that was right after a wash, a wash with soap, which usually causes my hair to tangle severely. So I was so happy to see that. That's not necessarily the case throughout my whole head, but it definitely is the case here. So what I'm hoping is that the rest of my locks will follow suit, and they'll just all start kind of growing in with their respective locks so that I can decrease my maintenance even more. Because I guess depending on how your hair grows, if generally speaking, the less maintenance you do to your locks, the healthier they will be. But for some people, that doesn't necessarily hold true, because if you have hair that grows away from the locks and you don't take the time to graft that new hair back into lock, that can actually cause you more harm than good to go long periods of times without retwisting. But I digress. That's not my case. My hair likes to grow with the locks, so if it continues to do that and gets that way across my whole head, I'm gonna absolutely love that, and I'll probably increase the amount of time in between retwists. I also note, I remembered that I talked about how at one point I kind of had this like weird odor going on in my hair. It's totally gone. I'm so happy that I don't know, I feel like this year has been a trial and error to learn how to take care of my hair while it's in the form of locks. And that first mistake, because I've had 2 bouts of like weird odor in my hair, and the first time was when I put castor oil in my hair, and I know some of you guys swear by castor oil, but castor oil stinks to me, and when I put it in my hair, it just made my hair stink, and I could not get that smell out for months. So finally I got that issue taken care of, and then like a couple months later, my hair started to have this other weird smell, and I concluded that it was from me using the tap water. And so once I eliminated the tap water and replaced it with distilled water, I didn't have any more odor. So I'm so happy that the odor issue is totally under control now. I totally attribute that to, one, eliminating castor oil from my regimen, and also using distilled water instead of tap, and also using the tea tree soap as a preventative measure to kind of keep odors that might develop at bay or completely eliminated. So I'm just, nonetheless, I say all that to say I'm happy that my hair doesn't have any kind of weird odors, and I think that's because I've really found my rhythm for what's working for me. So my locks are still pretty soft. I don't know if that's gonna change or not, because I'm like, it's already been a year and they still are kind of spongy. So I don't know. Most of the time when I see people with mature locks, it seems like their locks are quite firm. And so maybe, I still don't think that my locks are 100% mature. So perhaps as they continue to mature, they will get a little bit more dense and a little bit more firm. But right now they're still, it's like no, they're really squishy still. So I also wanted to take this time to kind of give you my once and for all lock hair maintenance routine, because it's been changing over the months as I've learned new things, experienced setbacks, and kind of just like figuring things out as I go. Now that I am at the 1 year mark, I'm pretty sure that this is the regimen that I'm going to continue using, because it's been tested and it's working for me. So to start, every other day I spritz my hair with distilled water and that distilled water has a couple of drops of lemongrass in it. I explain in other videos why I use distilled water and why I use lemongrass. So if you want to get information on that, you can watch those videos. So I do that every other day, and I do that just to add some moisture to my hair. I know a lot of you guys say that water does not moisturize your hair. I disagree. It moisturizes my hair, but do you? If water is not enough to moisturize your hair, choose something else that does. For me, spritzing my hair every other day with distilled water has been doing the trick. My hair is not dry. And so every 5 weeks, I will wash my hair with Dr. Bronner's tea tree oil soap. I will follow it with the Dr. Bronner's hair rinse, which acts as a conditioner, but it is not a conditioner, but it behaves kind of like a conditioner. I will then apply coconut oil to my scalp, not the length of my locks, but to my scalp. And then lastly, I will retwist with water. Pretty much everything that I just said is something that you guys have heard in my other videos, with the exception of the coconut oil. For a while, I was debating on whether or not I was going to include oils into my hair care regimen, because my thought was, you know, generally speaking, people with locks will abstain from putting heavy substances in their hair because it can be difficult to get out. And again, going back to my bad experiences with castor oil, which is a very thick and viscous oil, it was really difficult to get out of my hair. And so it kind of, that experience with the castor oil kind of put me off of oils in general, because I was afraid they were going to get stuck in my locks. And I think that to an extent, oil will stay in your locks, but I don't know if that's necessarily good or bad. You guys will have to determine that for yourself. But what I have done is kind of like the middle ground. I still don't apply the oil to the length of my locks, but I will apply it to my scalp. And in the process of retwisting, some will get on, like, you know, the hair strands themselves. But I put the coconut oil because I started to notice that around, like, I'd wash my hair, and then around like 3 or 4 weeks later, I started to get like dry scalp, but not all over it, just being like one spot. So I was thinking, you know, maybe my scalp needs a little bit more, you know, oil, because as a loose natural, I was water washing my hair every 3 to 4 days. So my hair and scalp was getting a lot of water and a lot of oil, and it's just not getting that now that I have locks, because I just don't have to, you know, wet my hair that often. So I put the coconut oil in there to kind of just lubricate the skin cells on my scalp. And since I've done that, I haven't had any problems. Again, I know coconut oil doesn't work for some of you guys, so pick an oil that does, should you choose to apply oil to your scalp. But that's pretty much it. That's the only things that I do to my hair. And like I was mentioning before, it's so low maintenance. Like, locks are so low maintenance. What I just mentioned, I only, that long list of soap, hair rinse, coconut oil, and retwisting with water, I only do that every 5 weeks. And then on the days in between those 5-week periods, I'm just spritzing my hair with water like every now and then. That's nothing. That's nothing. And my hair has been really thriving. Yeah, that's pretty much all I had to talk about, to share today. I know I mentioned in my 11-month lock update that I may or may not continue lock updates. That's really up for debate. I was thinking that, like I said, you know, my hair is approaching a steady state and it's not really changing too much. So instead of doing like proper lock updates every month, I may do them every 3 months. And perhaps what I may do is kind of like a monthly length check, because at this point, while I'm not really seeing too much length change, I expect that over the next couple of months that should start changing. I should start seeing at least some differences in length. So I may start doing length check videos on my locks, but I don't know, kind of play with the idea and see what I'll do going forward. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in and hanging in there with me for this entire year of watching my locks develop from loose natural hair to very skinny starter locks to where they are now. It really has been a journey, and I am so happy to have gone through all of it, and I would not take it back. I wouldn't change anything about it. This has been not only a period of growth for my hair, but for me as an individual. It really has been, and I'm very thankful to have been able to go through it. But as always, thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you next time.